Welcome back to ECCMID TV, where joining us for their second time on the hot seat here in the studio are two of our young reporters who've been looking at the Congress from a slightly different perspective this year, not just in their own medical fields. Let's find out what they've been up to and what they've discovered, and welcome back to the stage, Anke and Andreas. Nice to have you both with us. Anke, let me start with you, if I may. As a reporter this year, it's a different way of getting around the Congress. What have you learned? What have you most enjoyed?
I think as a reporter you have a kind of a mission. So you want to get some really new news, some data about things you're assigned to, and that's report that back to make a nice young ECCMID presentation. My portfolio was to look at immunocompromised hosts and fungal infections. And when speaking about immunocompromised hosts, I think I saw a nice presentation, it was already on Saturday, about the Swiss transplant cohort, and they showed actually that the timetable after of infections after solid organ transplant didn't that change during time, but we gave a lot more of immunosuppression, so that was kind of a remarkable finding. But there have been more preventive measures, so probably that's one of the reasons why. The only exception is BK virus, and BK virus is a virus that can get really severe clinical syndromes in solid organ transplant. It can lead to nephropathy, it can, in the more hematological transplant patients, it can lead to severe hemorrhagic cystitis. And actually up to now there is no good treatment for BK cystitis or nephropathy. So I think that's really a direction future research could focus on.
Wow, so you've obviously enjoyed yourself.
Yeah.
And it's your hometown as well.
It is,
so
yeah.
Is it different being in your hometown
yeah,
at a Congress
sure.
like this?
It's very different. It's kind of special and kind of weird a bit as well.
Alien invasion into your hometown.
Yeah. And normally you go to a conference, you're out with your colleagues for a couple of days, and now you just start the day as you normally do at home. So it's quite different.
Excellent. Let's turn to Andreas now, if we may, because not your hometown, but I know you've been enjoying the Congress.
Yes.
You even won the ECCMID photo contest this year, I believe.
Thank you.
With some really cool photography, if I may say so.
It's really an excellent option here, to be a young reporter, and to really get a message out of the whole session, because you have so many sessions and you really don't know where to go, but if you have just a mission and you want to write a story out of it, then it's getting much more interesting, and also to just give a message out of this whole sessions. And my message was, I'm more focused on antibiotic resistance. So I really had a look into also the past, the present and the future a little bit, because there was a nice presentation from a French guy about the original isolates that Escherichia discovered Escherichia coli in the late in 1880s.
Yeah.
So and they were totally sensitive to all the antibiotics. So this is history now. Now we have the present, and the present we really don't know how many resistance we have in each country. So there are a lot of new programs developed for also the non-EU European countries, like the CESAR project, where they collect a lot of data. If how big is the problem within the countries like Russia, Turkey, and so on, and Switzerland as well. So there is a growing problem over there as well.
And the future
and the futures, I don't know. There's a lot of shadow in the future. We have lost some battles, like third generation cephalosporin resistance. This battle seems to be lost, but now we have to concentrate really on resistance against carbapenems, polymyxins, like colistin. So this is the future goal, to really concentrate.
But a lucha continua, the struggle goes on.
We have to continue there, and it's an international struggle, because you cannot stay in Germany and say, I don't care for the other countries. We can also not say we are Europeans, we stick together. We have to say we are one world, and say what's going on in Asia, what is going on in Africa, and US, and in America.
What intrigued me as well was that there was a large focus on migrant health with the migrant story that's happening across Europe at the moment. So I found the Congress from my side very up to date in that respect, and I know a lot of media interest has been generated in stories like those as well. Other key highlights for you though, Anke, what did you most enjoy?
Yeah, I think when you speak, I also was a bit focused on the fungal infection, and I think when you speak about the therapeutics of the fungal infections, there are data shown of like I think 3 major trials in a new azole, like isavuconazole. It's an antifungal azole that can be added to a portfolio, I think, or to a formularia, I think, for Aspergillus infections and for mucormycosis infection. It didn't appear to work for Candida. So I think, yeah, some quite new stuff.
And there's something for everybody here, really, isn't there? Whatever your area of specialism is, whether it's antibiotic resistance, whether it's fungal. How did you choose from the program? Because it's quite a complicated, detailed 4-day program.
Yeah.
How did you, I mean, you had to choose as a reporter more than being a delegate this year, but how did you choose what you wanted to attend?
Yeah, actually this year in the Young Reporter program, we divided the teams per our own background, and I'm trained as a hematologist, but also I'm also a fellow in infectious diseases, so that's why I was assigned to the immunocompromised homes, this transplant and the fungal infections, so I think everybody stick a bit to his own expertise. But on the other hand, I also think that's what makes ECCMID special compared to other conferences. I think there's a lot out for clinical microbiologists, but also for ID people, and also for public health people or pediatricians, so that's why it makes fun.
And Andreas, let me ask you that same question. Choosing, I mean, you obviously wanted to go to your own area of interest, but was it hard to choose? Were you sitting in your hotel room at night, scratching your head, looking at the following days?
I think it's very hard to choose, especially if you're a young reporter and you want to cover one field, because I like to attend other sessions like ID sessions, because perhaps I get an idea, another perspective of it that I don't get in the laboratory as a microbiologist. So it's also important, I think, not to do the things you know, don't go to the sessions. Just go to other sessions about things you really don't know and you don't have a clue about. This is ECCMID. It's so diverse.
So you had to be quite clinical about the diversity.
Yeah, it's really you have so many options though, and it's so diverse that you always find a topic that you don't have a clue about. So just go there, and perhaps you will find another opinion about it.
And the networking, the human side, Anke, has it been good for you? Lots of delegates here.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of delegates here, and especially when you're involved in something like we do now, a Young ECCMID Reporter program, you get in contact with new people from other countries, people you didn't know before, people who are in a total different field, and they present their data to you as well. So, yeah, I think when talking about network, there is
because Andreas, you've had that as well, though, haven't you? Because you brought some Mongolian delegates.
Yeah, there are 3 Mongolians at this conference. I saw at
2
the
of whom
screen.
you're responsible for.
And we're responsible for 2 because we have a project going on about gram-negative resistance in Mongolia, and we invited them to present their work here on ECCMID, and that's what they did. They presented their work, their studies with posters, with e-posters, and it was quite successful. And I think they really liked the conference because, of course, there's nothing really comparable in Asia, and it's really a huge conference. So, and they are microbiologists, and they went to many sessions, and
So you really have both extracted full value from ECCMID. Look forward to seeing you in Vienna next year, really, I guess.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah,
Thanks for your involvement. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.